Today, we are diving into a story that honestly feels like it was ripped right from a movie script. It's an incredible story of betrayal, of a son's unbelievable foresight, and really, a final act of love that ends up delivering justice from beyond the grave. And it all kicks off with this one absolutely chilling line. I mean, can you imagine? Just days after you lose your only son, your daughter-in-law looks you in the eye and says this. The sentence just sets the stage for conflict that is as cruel as it is calculated. So our story starts with a devastating tragedy, one that very quickly spirals into a completely heartless betrayal. Let's break down exactly how this all went down. The timeline here is just brutal. I mean, the speed of it is staggering. One day, Eleanor's son David is alive. Just 4 days later, she's at his funeral. And then, the very next day, she's being kicked out of her own home by his widow. For a 67-year-old woman, this is an unbelievably swift and crushing turn of events. And this is where we see the true colors of our antagonist Stephanie. In public, she's playing the part of the heartbroken widow to perfection, but in private, at the funeral reception of all places, she's overheard saying this. The mask just completely slips, and it reveals this cold, calculating mind that's already moving on. And right here, the betrayal becomes official. Stephanie just lays down the law with this chilling finality. There's no room for negotiation, no sign of compassion. It's just a cold, hard eviction for the mother-in-law who had lived with them for 2 years, after selling her own home to help them with their down payment. Just as all hope seems completely lost, the story takes a really sharp turn. So Eleanor is homeless, she's grieving, she's all alone in some budget hotel room, but a single phone call is about to change absolutely everything. Imagine you're in her shoes, trying to figure out where you're going to sleep next week, and you get this call. David's lawyer tells her she is required at the will reading. Now, after Stephanie swore up and down she'd get nothing, this call is the very first sign that maybe, just maybe, there's more to the story. So, at the will reading, everything seems to be going exactly the way Stephanie planned. She gets the $500,000 house, the cars, all the retirement accounts, the life insurance policy, the whole shebang. She's sitting there and nodding along, glancing over at Eleanor with this look of pure satisfaction. Her victory seems totally complete. And then the lawyer says these 4 little words. He mentions a provision David added just 3 months before he died. You could just feel the entire atmosphere in that room shift. This is the moment everything changes. You see, this wasn't some last-minute decision. We're now getting the full reveal of David's secret 5-year plan, a plan designed specifically to protect his mother from the exact horrible situation she now finds herself in. The will's final clause lays out his strategy. It leaves Eleanor the entire contents of a private safety deposit box. Stephanie is absolutely furious. She never even knew it existed. And the lawyer confirms it. Access is restricted to Eleanor Fairfield, and Eleanor Fairfield only. So this, of course, raises the big question. What on earth could be so important that David went to such great lengths to keep it secret for 5 whole years, visiting this box regularly, all to protect his mom? Well, the very first thing Eleanor finds inside is a letter, and the opening lines are just a gut punch. David confirms that he knew everything. He saw Stephanie's true nature years ago and was actively preparing for this exact outcome. So this wasn't just a plan, it was a counter-move against a known threat. And his plan started years ago, with the $40,000 Eleanor had loaned them for the down payment on the house. Yeah, the very same house she was just kicked out of. Stephanie had always dismissed it as a gift, but David never forgot it was a loan. And here is the payoff. For 5 years, David didn't just sit on that money. He invested it, adding more whenever he could. He managed to turn that initial $40,000 into $185,000. In a single moment, Eleanor goes from being homeless to completely financially independent. It's just incredible. That David left her more than just money. Oh, yeah, he left her proof. A folder meticulously filled with years and years of evidence. We're talking printed emails, text messages, credit card statements, all of it documenting Stephanie's manipulation. See, this was never just about financial security. It was about getting the truth out. It was about vindication. So, now armed with financial freedom and a folder full of undeniable proof, Eleanor agrees to meet Stephanie one last time. This sets the stage for a final showdown where the balance of power has completely, and I mean completely, shifted. So, they meet for lunch and Eleanor reveals one of the most damning pieces of evidence, a text from Stephanie to her own sister, referring to her mother-in-law as that old bat and already planning to turn her room into a home gym. It's just so cold, so cruel, and right there in black and white. And the depth of David's documentation was just astounding. I mean, for every lie Stephanie told, David had the truth recorded. She'd claim Eleanor contributed nothing. David's bank statements proved the mortgage was auto-paid from his account. She claimed she was worried about money. David had receipts for 15 grand in luxury charges. She talked about working together, while literally emailing her brother about having Eleanor declared incompetent. Faced with all this irrefutable proof, Stephanie's whole composure just shatters. The fake sweetness is gone, and it's replaced by pure, unfiltered rage. But the threats are totally empty now. She has lost all control of the situation, and she knows it. And so we come to the end of our story. A son's love and his incredible foresight delivered a kind of justice that no court ever could, making sure his mother was not only safe, but completely and utterly vindicated. So let's just do a final accounting here. What did each woman really gain and lose? Well, Stephanie lost control, she lost the moral high ground, and she lost any claim to more money. But Eleanor gained financial independence, the vindication of truth, and, most importantly, the undeniable proof of her son's unconditional enduring love. You know, in the end, this is what mattered most to Eleanor. More than the money, more than getting back at Stephanie, it was this knowledge. Her son saw everything, he understood everything, and he acted to protect her. He was the man she hoped he'd be, even from beyond the grave. And this really just leaves us with a final thought to chew on. This entire story hinges on one man's ability to see what was coming and prepare for it. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Is taking action to protect someone from a future you won't even be in maybe the ultimate form of love?